I feel like we all wish that we could, be next to God when God was like, in the oven cooking us up. I feel like we all wish that, we could be the master in charge of the cards that we're dealt when we come into this life. So, sometimes I wish, I had a say in my fate. Like, sometimes I wish that I had a say in, like, what I was walking into when I was born into this world. So it starts off like, in my head like Donniedarkhoe, listening to Mac DeMarco. So I touched on this on one of my first reels I made on my IG, which you can check out. But in short, that first line is referencing a 90s movie, Donniedarkhoe. Essentially, the main character, he has schizophrenia, and he's a teenager. He literally wakes up in like the middle of like different parts of like his neighborhood, like in the middle of the night. Like he is like a deep sleepwalker, and he imagines this rabbit-like figure named Frank that basically encourages him to do bad things. But like Donniedarkhoe, he's so wrapped up in like his own world and like what he has going on in his mind that he is not aware of the turmoil that he's putting himself in. I wish I had a say in my fate. Sometimes I hate my life and I wanna scream, laugh out loud to avoid streams that trickle down my tired face. Feel like I can be replaced so easily like potpourri. Can't you see I'm just a dream? So this one I feel like, is a little more self-explanatory. I feel like we all wish that we could, be next to God when God was like, in the oven cooking us up. I feel like we all wish that, we could be the master in charge of the cards that we're dealt when we come into this life. So, sometimes I wish, I had a say in my fate. Like, sometimes I wish that I had a say in, like, what I was walking into when I was born into this world. This song is really personal, and I get vulnerable on this song. I just kind of like go into lightly or not lightly, different things that I've dealt with on a personal level from like my childhood to like my adolescence to my, young adulthood. So that is essentially like, what that line is talking about. I was just talking about like, how life is hard. And like sometimes you wish that like, you could be like, okay, I need $1 million. I need a Lexus. I need a big house. Like you need all these things. It's like at the end of the day, even if you have them, you might still be missing something. But that's another conversation. I think I'm slowly dying, but baby, that's the point. We come into this life and bore ourselves until we don't. So, technically, like, we are slowly dying. Like, tomorrow is never promised. So I'm just like kind of being a little like morbid and dismal in that line. I don't want to drown in all my sorrows, please. So I try to turn them into some melodies. Music has been an outlet for me, like literally my whole life. I started singing when I was in the first grade. My elementary school had a choir program, and when I was in the first grade, I think it's like when you're in kindergarten and first grade, but this is when I was in the first grade. You can be in the Christmas production that they put on, and I was like, one of the 10 little angels, and like, I had my small moment of stardom. And then when you get into the third grade, that's when you can actually like, be in like the choir. So when I got into the third grade, that's when I joined the choir at my elementary school. If you can feel my voice, I'm trying. I know the girls are crying. Nobody really wants to help them, so they're doomed, and I'm doomed too. Yeah, this one, it's like if you can hear my voice, I'm trying. It's like Like, I'm trying to express myself. Like, I'm trying to be real with you. Like, I'm trying to be raw, vulnerable. Like, this is me. Like, if you can feel me, you can feel me. If you can't, you can't. I know the girls are crying. That is more like, like a political. That's more like a political line. Just touching on, like, historically, like, women are often asking to be humanized by society. Society's always like, nah, we don't want to. So, no one really wants to help them. Again, it's like, like no one really cares for real. It's like, we capitalize off of our pain. So we capitalize off of women having these movements, and not even, like, to me, like, not even in a sense, and that's why I said, like, to be humanized, because, like, not even in a sense to, like, be considered equal. I look at it as, like, being considered human. Because all I wanna do is lay up next to you, even when I'm not myself and acting like a fool. Yeah, this one is, I'm just like, it's like, yeah, like, even when I'm being crazy, like, where you going? You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I'm being a little toxic, like, where are you going? Like, what are you doing? Like, you're not going anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Like, at the end of the day, like, we have our demons, we have our demises, our vices, but it's like, we still want, like, we still want love, we still want affection, we still want community, we still want to feel human. We don't want our flaws to make us feel or think that, like, we don't deserve all of that. Just grab my neck and throw me down and tell me that you love me. This could cure all my imperfections, but for surely. I feel like this line, I don't really gotta, like, explain it that much. It's extremely explicit. But this is the first time, like publicly and through my music, I'm being raunchy, which I was very hesitant about. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Breathing in my ear and neck, I can feel our pace. Screaming and pulling and biting, that's my favorite taste. Again, I'm just continuing this, like, this theme in this part of the song of being, like, a little explicit. I'm having fun with it because, like, I never get to really express myself like this, especially, like, publicly. So I was like, I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna let them know. It's not a party without a little chase. I'm your little princess, darling, count me as a prize. At the office beat, I'll give you a surprise. I feel like I don't even need to talk about these lines. Like, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. That's all I gotta say. For a wall encompass me, a prisoner begging for a chance to leave. Four walls encompass me, a prisoner begging for a chance to leave. Four walls encompass me, a prisoner begging for a chance to leave. Four walls encompass me, prisoner begging for a chance to leave. I didn't sing it exactly how it is in the song because I don't got to. But yeah, like, growing up, I feel like I was like anytime I was in my room, like, I don't know, going back to, like, the first part of the song, which I like to do in my songs. I like to, like, bring it all back, like 360 moment. This idea that, like, I'm trapped in my mind, like, my mind is stronger than me, it controls me, like, it's more powerful than me. This idea that, like, these four walls, like, they make me feel like I'm being trapped. My brain feels like four walls. It feels like I'm in this room, and it's like whatever's going on in that room, like, it has power over you. I'm begging, I'm begging, I'm begging. I'm begging, I'm begging, I'm begging, begging for a chance to leave.
listening to Master Marco. I wish I had a say in my fate. Sometimes I hate my life and I wanna scream, laugh out loud to avoid the streams that trickle down my tired face. Feel like I can be replaced so